Hello and welcome to our latest unboxing video. I am Eliza and
Amber.
And today we have fiction and nonfiction for adults. A big old box. Or a big new box.
Technically. Robert Crais, A Dangerous Man, and I think are these like mystery dramas, thrillery something.
He's also got very compelling author photo. I think the unboxings are making me look more at the author photos because Amber holds them up and then I see the back and I'm like, oh, interesting pose.
Yeah, I wonder what's going through their head, like, this is going to sell the book.
The Summer Guests by Mary Alice Monroe. I feel like this is like such a perfect beach reading type book and it's coming a little late, but I think it will still have a chance to go out before the end of summer and probably after.
It was actually funny. I was at the beach the other day and looked over and there was a woman reading one of the books that we've recently reviewed. I thought, that's so nice. It's actually a beach read. We're not just making things up. Oh, this is weird. The Body in Question. I really like, it's kind of like a weird cover, but
it's a weird cover
like
and a weird
eyes.
title, and it actually sounds like a super intense book.
The Place, Central Florida. The Situation, a sensational murder trial. Oh. A twin for murdering her toddler brother. I won't be reading this. It's very short though, so.
Yeah, so basically it's about the two jurors. I was really like, I didn't really want to maybe read it myself, but the plot was just like so crazy. Like they sleep together secretly, even though they're supposed to be sequestered on the jury, and then later someone reports them, but also they may have gotten the wrong twin. I don't know. It sounds super intense. Yeah, usually the murdering of young children is a no-go for me. Lady in the Lake by Laura Lippman, who's super popular. She writes a series, but I think this is part of the standalone. 1960s Baltimore.
Someone we know. Why does this look like every single thriller? Shari Lapena? Maybe you don't know your neighbors as well as you thought you did. Whoever really does. Oh.
The Logger Queen of Minnesota, and she wrote or possibly he, I don't know what the gender of the person, but they wrote Kitchens of the Great Midwest, which was sort of a popular, like, more like literary type novel, and this is the second book by him, or by this person, and yeah, it's about a family that starts a beer company where the beers taste like pies. I'm not 100% sure how that would work, but it says it's a lovable, funny, quintessentially American cast of characters. I'm not sure how a beer would taste like a...
I mean, I could imagine it.
Okay.
Yeah, I had one the other day.
I guess
it tasted
fruity
literally
beers.
like a loaf of bread.
Oh. Then
It was good.
Yeah.
The Bookish Life of Nina Hill. Looks like maybe someone's pandering to librarians. By Abbi Waxman. She wrote The Garden of Small Beginnings, which was really popular. It's just, she has a job in a bookstore. She has a cat. And
pandering? No.
oh, and when her father unexpectedly dies. She didn't even know he existed, though.
Whoops.
And all kinds of other stuff. I don't know. It looks like it's probably just like
family
an easy read.
stuff. This change of pace. Flash Count Diary, Menopause, and the Vindication of Natural Life. So another book, presumably about getting older. It's nonfiction. And I think that's probably good. I mean, I feel like hitting menopause is something that many women do, but is not often talked about. So let's talk about it, right?
Makes me think of the book that just came out, Women Rowing North.
Yeah.
I didn't read it. We reviewed it. The Gifted School by Bruce Holsinger. This looks... A previously happy group of friends and parents is nearly destroyed by their own competitiveness when an exclusive school for gifted children opens in the community.
This has a lot of holds on it. I'd never heard of it, and then it had a ton of holds. So it's either the author or the subject matter. Something is making people really want this book.
I mean, Meg Wolitzer has a little blip right there on the cover, so you know it's going to be popular.
Ooh, this is a big name. The Knife by Joe Nesbo, and here he is looking very craggy on the back. And
I mean, it's a really compelling cover.
Yeah, the cover
knife.
and the title combined are
Not even
really
the
compelling.
knife, just knife.
I think I tried to read one of his once, but it was a little dark for me. But I don't know. I've been reading darker mysteries lately, so maybe it's time to try that again. But yeah, he's sort of like one of the biggest known like Scandinavian murder mystery writers.
Tell Me Everything by Cambria Brockman. I can't really tell what this is. A murder at an elite New England college tears apart a group of friends. It's a debut novel. So I guess we'll see. It sounds like kind of a mystery thriller type thing.
I always like college books. I feel like there's a lot of like teenager books and then like adult books. And
the college is captures like that young but independentness.
Oh, there's a dog on the cover. Everybody will want it. David Rosenfelt, Bark at Night. And this is a mystery. About a guy who ends up with a dog that was dropped off at the vet with orders to euthanize him, but he seems healthy, and so the vet gives it to him, and then he's trying to figure out like what's going on.
Never Have I Ever. Jocelyn Jackson.
Suspense.
More. It's just more. Never have I. Like a lot of these, I feel like there were maybe like 10 words, and if you rearrange them, then they form most of the titles for thrillers and suspense.
I'm in a thriller suspense phase right now, and let me tell you, it is true that they are similar, but they're fun to read.
Yeah, it's just
they are kind of like
betrayal, deception, temptation.
I mean, they're not sweet, so it seems weird to compare to them to candy, but they are kind of like candy.
Like you just can't stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Girls Like Us. I think this is another
police
one.
Tape.
Oh, psychological suspense. But yeah, the police tape implies that it's a procedural. Oh, look, they've even got the police tape sort of going on the back. And worlds collide when an FBI agent investigates a string of grisly murders on Long Island and faces impossible question: what happens when the primary suspect is your father? I think when the primary suspect is your father, you are not supposed to investigate the case. But
what do we know?
What do we know?
After the End by Clare Mackintosh. Leanne Murray already wrote something on the top.
Looks sad.
Deeply moving page-turning novel about an impossible choice in the two paths. When someone says an impossible choice, I feel like there's usually like a death or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It looks like a family, marriage, parenthood. Sounds too heavy for me.
This is a novel called The Need by Helen Phillips, which has a kind of interesting premise, which is it's about a woman whose house is being invaded by like maybe some person, and she's worried about her kids, but she's also been sleep deprived for days, and it sounds like she's sort of like going a little crazy. So I think you're supposed to be unclear about like what's reality.
Is she like an unreliable narrator, maybe?
Maybe. That's what I think.
That could be interesting. Just say that it's a thriller. Just put thriller. Paranoid by Lisa Jackson. She's a well-known author.
Yeah.
And Oregon, someone got away with murder 20 years ago, and suspense. I mean, the cover, you just look at it. That's your kind of book, you read it.
The Nickel Boys by Colson Whitehead, who wrote The Underground Railroad. And this book also has a ton of holds on it, and it sounds really dark. It's about two boys sentenced to a hellish reform school in the Jim Crow era. So maybe a little difficult to read, but also like highlighting a time in history that people should know about.
Beneath the Tamarind Tree, a story of courage, family, and the Lost Schoolgirls of Boko Haram by Isha Sesay.
I saw her interviewed on The Daily Show.
Oh,
yeah.
I remember here.
Yeah.
Back in 2014.
And some of them are still gone, which is really crazy. And the ones who've come back have had really just harrowing stories. So.
And I don't feel like I've heard any other books coming out really about this. So.
Yeah, no, there
headlines.
haven't really, and I feel like it's one of those things where it's like faded from the news cycle, but like
Still affecting
yeah,
people.
yeah. One Good Deed by David Baldacci. We have one patron in particular. I won't name any names, but he has come in like 3 times to make sure this is on hold for him. So it is, but other people can read it too afterwards.
Window on the Bay by Debbie Macomber. Single mom, empty nester, spreads her wings. So it's heartwarming. That's nice after like a box of thrillers.
America's Reluctant Prince, The Life of John F. Kennedy Jr. I remember when he died. So I think this will have local interest since people in Massachusetts tend to be interested in the Kennedys.
And people around here especially like biographies.
Yes, that's true.
Last one in the box, Shamed by Linda Castillo, a novel of suspense.
It's a little hard to tell from the
Devastating
cover, but
murder.
this isn't a Amish
Amish.
mystery.
Well, there you go. That's it.
Thanks so much.
Empty box.